It's not that far away. You're right. Okay. I feel a little better about that. I don't know why. It's like I just was not like sensing like where that is.
I don't know that you could swim it, but I mean, it's really not.
Don't swim it. Don't swim it.
I'm a pretty good swimmer.
Yeah.
Just remember freestyle.
I know, right? Just like float every now and then.
Hey, Facebook, we're deciding if we can swim from Castaway Key back to
That's right. Because, that's what we do.
Hopefully that will not need to happen.
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah, that'd be that would be one for the books. Okay, so you guys, we have the best question too to start off the show. I'm so excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
An awesome question.
We are ready.
So we're gonna do the questions, and then we're gonna do a Animal Kingdom versus Wilderness Lodge.
Yes.
The lodges, the battle of the lodges.
Oh, it's a throwdown.
It is.
Like a morning zoo show. The battle of the lodges.
Oh my gosh.
6 a.m. tomorrow, Megan. What? James, 6 a.m. What? I'm so
I was like, I don't see comments, and then I got it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's happy. Pam's back.
She is.
Especially Pam's front, but yeah, she's here.
Oh my God, Mike, what is wrong with you?
Wow.
When do you leave, Pam? Oh, you get there Friday. You don't go down until Thursday, Friday, something like that?
No, actually, so I have.
Oh, here we go. You added on, right?
No, I have a meeting. I have a meeting on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
No, Thursday. I have a meeting on Thursday. My schedule's a little crazy this year.
Yeah.
You might have heard there's a few things opening at Disney. There's some things going on. No, I actually have a meeting on Thursday. Then we drive back to the airport and then go to the port from there.
Nice.
Oh,
Cool. Yeah, I don't hear about that. The thing was, like, by the time I looked at the hotel you guys are staying at, like the deal I got at Riverside's like way cheaper. So like it would have cost me way more money. And we got to talk about getting back too, because I haven't booked anything to get back from.
Hannah did.
Oh, did she? Can we get in?
Yes.
Okay, good. Another thing was on my list tonight to call Scott. Like, Scott, what are we doing? We got a Mears shuttle over, but I don't have anything on the way back. You guys messed me up because I don't have a party bus, but what can we do?
No party bus for you.
First meal tomorrow, we're doing Earl of Sandwich because we're going to see friends' daughters perform at Disney Springs as soon as we land. The Brandon's daughters.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Awesome.
The two dancers.
Yeah.
The Millers. Yeah. What are their names? The two.
Isn't it Maddie and? Oh no.
No.
Don't you hate when it was right there on my?
I know it was.
They're performing though at Disney Springs together. So we're staying at Riverside, so we're just gonna land, get to Disney Springs.
Are they doing it on the big stage, the marketplace
stage?
Stage
at Disney Springs.
Will you send me a picture of the marketplace stage? Which I need it for one of my bloggers. One of my bloggers is like, "Hey, I need a picture of the marketplace stage," and I was like, "I know I have one. I have to find it." And so if you're going to be there tomorrow, just send that to me and I'll get that taken care of.
And Chip, that is what I'm getting, the holiday sandwich at Earl of Sandwich. That's my plan. I haven't had one for everybody.
What else is really good there too, though?
Thinking about getting some poutine.
There's a ton of good things, but their caprese is good too.
Oh yeah,
this time of year I love. Like I can't get enough caprese. Mackenzie.
Yeah, Mackenzie.
Yeah.
I'm like
Mackenzie. Yeah, that's it.
I knew it was another M name, but they actually typically they refer to her a lot as Kenzie. So I was seeing all these different letters in my name. So, anyways,
yeah.
And also, I'm really surprising some kids at the studios tomorrow night for the fireworks for a family that listen to the show. So
that's fun.
I know.
Yes, Hannah confirmed, Mike, that you are coming back with us.
I love you. Money.
They're picking us up at 8:30, and so we'll just grab. I mean, it's better just to eat up top anyway. I say.
Yeah, that's the saddest meal ever. I hate that meal. That breakfast. And
to go there, and then they shift on the menu to something that's like. There's like French toast and an omelet. Although no changes to the omelet, you can get it with cheese or ham and cheese
or cheese
or cheese,
or no cheese.
There's no eggs Benedict. There's no.
All right,
it makes me so sad.
Oh. There you go. We gotta get to business, man. I gotta pack. I got my luggage sitting up there, and I haven't even cracked it open yet. It's still like in the box from Amazon. All right, here we go. Bjargas Fekkas, I come to Amazon. Actually, what's sad is
do that at the end.
I know I should have. I plug it enough, but I'm just saying
No, but you need to do it real fast like that. I like that.
Yeah, just like oh, we just lost Ricky. Great. We're just ready to start and Ricky's gone. Hang on. Let's see if I can do it. BeerGuestPodcast.com. That's how they do it at the end of like commercials. BeerGuestPodcast.com/Amazon.
You need to have other things.
Helps if I don't push the refresh button.
Yes,
it's
please.
Fine. Yeah.
I've done that before. I've actually done that. You're like
no.
an idiot.
I was like, we're just really starting.
Oh dang.
Ricky.
Yeah.
BeerGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. I'll go do that at the end. Don't let me forget.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. God, I'm happy.
Podcast is sponsored. You need to do it. Podcast is sponsored by beerguest.com/Amazon/themagic4less.com. Be our guest, Mike.
Today's episode of the Beer Guest Podcast brought to you by the Magic of Less Travel and Amazon.com's Beer Guest Prize. I did it backwards. I can't do it. You got to think really fast. Today's podcast brought to you by the Magic of Less Travel and beerguestpodcast.com/Amazon.
Yes.
2019. Have a freaking magical day.
Yes, have a hashtag freaking magical day.
Hashtag.
Shirts available on the Beer Guest Podcast.
I'll be rocking my shirt. I can't wait. Okay, here we go.
Oh, man.
What is 15?
I don't know.
It's 15.
We've been listening to us way too much.
By the way, for everybody listening, you're going to hear a Friday show that's actually going to come out on a Wednesday, and we're going to talk the whole time like it's a Friday, and then we're going to do another Friday show on Friday because the one we recorded with Parrish last night, was that last night?
Yes.
That was supposed to be a Wednesday listener question.
Oh, wow,
that's
right.
A Friday show, so just who cares?
Fine. Who cares?
If we only got one out of order out of all these shows we've been doing, so weird. It's a miracle.
But for those of you following along at home, today is actually Monday.
It is.
It's Monday, doing a Wednesday and a Friday show. That's why we had and it was a Sunday night. We had no clue. Ricky had done like 6 shows. Like
I literally no, like seriously, yesterday I did one with Mike in the morning, then I did the one in the afternoon, then I did another podcast with Matt and like at 10 o'clock at night. We didn't start until like 10:30, and so I was
stays up late.
Yeah. So
they stay up late in the Ozarks. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1503 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and Disney's Port Orleans Riverside Resort. We're down there having a good time. We're recording this one a bit early, so you don't miss your Wednesday listener questions. But make sure you're following me on Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestMike. I'll be posting my pictures. I'll be going for a run this morning, and I don't know what park we're going to be honest. We're just kind of having a little free time. We're going to enjoy the pool over at Riverside. Probably grab some beignets over at French Quarter, do some Disney Springs. I don't know. We'll have a good time. So follow along on Instagram and Twitter. We're having a great time getting ready for the podcast cruise on Friday. But joining me today for more listener questions, we have Ricky from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, TouringPlans.com, and The Mouse for Less. What's up, Ricky?
Nothing. Just nothing for me.
You're holding down the fort. You're keeping the home fires burning or whatever they say.
That's right. I have a week to go, basically. So that's okay. But I do want to remind everyone, because we are getting to the exciting time of the kickoff for the Be Our Guest Podcast Give Kids the World fundraiser extravaganza. Longest name ever. I mean, I figure if Universal and Disney can have long names for their attractions, I can have a long name for our show. So anyway, make sure you're tuned in on Facebook on Friday, July 5th at, I believe we've decided 10 o'clock. So we're going to kick off our fantastic fundraising events. We'll have the date for our first of 3 Be Our Guest Podcast live shows slash auctions that you guys can participate in. We're going to be raising money for Give Kids the World. We are going to have the auction, the 3 auctions. So if you do have auction items, please send them to please send me an email to bogpauction@gmail.com so I can work on figuring out the logistics of you sending me the items. But we're going to have a great auction this year, partnered with Magical, which is for kids. So we're going to be using their auction that they've used, and it's fantastic. Much better than the Facebook auctions we've run in the past, I promise. If you've experienced our Facebook auction in the past, that was a bit of a nightmare. This is actually a real auction, I promise. So yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So make sure you're there on Friday, July 5th for the kickoff celebration.
And we want the Facebook group just packed on that day when we're live from Give Kids World. I mean, I am hauling down a studio in a suitcase to do this. And so if I see like 6 listeners, I'm gonna be fired. I'm gonna find you guys because
that's right.
like
We're coming after you.
We had to beg Mike to do this.
We did.
We threatened. We Ricky and I ganged up on him.
We did.
I'm just saying we had to work. And my dad is a genius. He is, because he's a radio engineering genius. But when I work with my dad to figure out how to hook all this stuff up, he expects me to understand all the ins and outs. He's like, well, this thing goes there, and then of course it goes this 17 ways. I'm like, I don't do this. I'm a travel agent. I don't.
It's so fun to do stuff with your dad. Sometimes you walk away from that being like, awesome. But yeah, I'm a moron.
That's why, well, he's going so fast. Of course, I'm like with my iPhone, just taking pictures of everything. Like, okay, so if I can go back and just look at the picture, like it looked.
There you go.
And it worked. Anyway, Pam Forrester joining us from the Magic Forest Travel. Glad to have you back, Pam. What's going on?
Look behind me. Look at this new background.
I noticed that looked different. I like it.
Right? I know.
You got the brick wall.
So fancy.
Yes.
But anyways, yes, I'm back. Was I gone? I think I was here last week.
Yeah, I think
you're so out of order for the next 2 weeks. Who knows? You may be back one show and gone another. It's so crazy. So just to understand, you have podcasts. They're all there, and they're actually pretty fun shows. All these shows. I'm excited for the upcoming podcast, but if we say the wrong day of the week, it's just we said
the wrong day of the week. Sorry.
It's okay. There's lots of stuff going on, so we're gonna make it happen. And 2020, let me just tell you, can I give my little plea to people?
Yes.
If you are interested in 2020, please send a note to your agent soon. We are seeing availability and different weird, quirky things that we haven't seen in the past. I'm sure that has something to do with Galaxy's Edge. I'm sure it has to do with other things, but just get those dates locked in. For a package, it's a $200 deposit. And that's all it takes. And the other thing I want to mention is that we have at the Magic for Less Travel until July 18th. Special incentives for you to book that 2020 vacation with us. I know, right? We double our gift card on some of our packs, right? I know. And I don't say, this is something we don't like publicize. We just say special incentives for my Be Our Guest podcast family. I will tell you, we double our gift card on some of these. Hello.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, it's worth getting. So, and that's just to reward people who book early, because we can do that. It's the only time of the year we do that. And this is our chance. So I'm excited. 2020.
Crazy.
It's going to be a good time to be at Walt Disney World. I'm just saying.
Wait, are 2020 packages available now?
Yes, they are. Little birdie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What I heard.
That whole week I've kind of blocked out.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
It's been fun. And you know what? I'm giving out Disney gift cards like Oprah Winfrey. I'm just saying.
You get a gift card and you get a gift card.
They're flying, man. They're just flying out of my email. Anyway, so let's get to the questions. That's why you're here. And this is the greatest question. I'm so excited for this one.
I'm scared about this one. All
right, here's the title. Tuba playing at Disney World. Please help.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Tuba playing.
Tuba. Hello, BOGP crew. My mom, boyfriend, and I have a trip to Disney World booked for August 28th through September 4th, 2019. Now, you see those dates, and you're immediately thinking Galaxy's Edge is the question, right? No, it's not the question.
Oh, okay.
We've run into a bit of a snag. My boyfriend plays the tuba professionally and has just found out about an orchestral audition for mid-September. I can't read this. This makes him hesitant to join us as he wants to ensure he is prepared for his audition. He has traveled to Disney with his tuba in tow in the past, but he's always struggled to find places to practice. The Florida heat and humidity make it too difficult to play outdoors, and the sound carries too far.
I'm just so.
But I'm picturing this in my head because I can just see myself next to like this family, like next door at like Pop Center. Anyway, playing in our room has never been an option either. Do you know of any spaces that could accommodate a conference room, reception hall, banquet room, etc. would be ideal? We'll be staying at Pop Century this trip, but he's willing to travel anywhere on property for a practice space. Thank you for your advice regarding this unusual situation. We look forward to hearing from you. Your devoted Disney fan from Grand Rapids, Michigan, Clara, and Chance, the tuba player. So it's like Chance the rapper, but he's
right, but he's the tuba
player because he's not from Chicago. Yeah, I was thinking about this one, because like I think it's awesome because obviously there does have to be professional tuba players. That's really, really cool. But just like the sound of a tuba, by itself, if you're not expecting it, like,
right?
I'd be like, what is that? What, you know, like I can see myself Bob Central, like, what? It's just like I've just got this picture in my head. So Ricky, can you imagine any place that's wide? Because I mean, a tuba would carry, I would imagine, this like miles.
I have no idea where. Oh my gosh, what an unusual question, but valid, of course.
I mean, if you were on a football field, that thing would carry like the length of a football field. If you're really like playing at normal volume, I would guess. I mean, it would just, I don't know if it would disturb people if it was a song, but I mean, you would hear it.
I mean, all I could say is there's no, obviously no like private conference room that you could go to at Pop Century. So you'd have to like go to one of the deluxe resorts and maybe beg them. I don't actually have any idea. I have zero clue for this one. This one stumped me.
My suggestion would be to recruit some people in the food court and get them to march behind you and to start playing your tuba and like march around Hourglass Lake and just make it a parade. You know, I don't know. That's probably mean. I shouldn't say that, but I mean, I don't really know. Pam, what do you say? I mean, I can't think of a space that would contain something as strong as a tuba sound.
I know, and Disney charges and gets premium pricing for their conference space, right? So I don't know how likely they are to, I mean, let that happen. Plus it's booked.
Right.
You know, a lot of times the conference space is booked a lot of times. And it's also located next to other conference spaces. So again, that would present some challenges in the space of the, you know, you're going to be disrupting the other thing. This is really a challenging question. I don't know that I've ever heard it. I mean, your best bet might be something like to lift to a location off property, like as opposed to if it was really something that he was going to be wanting to do during the day, like when you're at the parks or something. That might be your best, but even then, I don't know where I'd even try.
Yeah,
maybe a school, like maybe a school would let you do it if they had somebody else in there. You know what I mean? Somebody else in the school, they'd let you do it in their gym or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we've been stumped on questions before, but when I got to know it, I was like, we're not going to have an answer to this one.
I know.
Right? I mean, it's like athletes want to practice on vacation because you don't want to lose your edge. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, a tuba is a great instrument, but that has to be a huge challenge. I mean, you just can't. It's not a piccolo like Scott was playing on the last podcast cruise. Like that
was much better.
And it's like to practice at the school, I'm sure you're going to have to submit to a full background check.
Right.
I would hope. Yeah, I would hope.
Yeah, but they're not going to let anyone just roll into the school and do that. So I don't know. Good luck. Tell us if you find an answer to that, because I'm interested.
Okay.
And also, if you have suggestions, put them on the Facebook page, because we want to know, like, because maybe somebody has something really obvious that we're just totally missing.
Right.
I just think it's cool though. Like, I would like a tuba just has a cool sound. I've always loved tubas or sousaphones, you know, something like that. I don't know. All right, next question. We didn't help very much there. So
I'm sorry.
No, but it was a good question.
It was a good question.
All right, she says, this is Amy. She says, help, we're leaving for Walt Disney World next week and have a quick question. Hey, BOGP crew, we're leaving for Walt Disney World next week. We're spending June 27th to the 30th at the World and staying at Riverside. Maybe we'll run into Mike. Maybe you will. I'll be out there running every morning. We are regular Disney visitors going about annually for the past 10 years, normally for about a week. This time, for a variety of reasons, our family of 5 is going for 4 days. And instead of park hoppers, we're going with regular tickets. We're contemplating doing a Disney Vacation Club tour in order to secure the free Fast Passes offered. Do you know if the Fast Passes are still offered as part of the Vacation Club tours? Do you know if they still offer the free anytime Fast Passes? And do you know if the tours would be in the evening, or would they have to give up prime morning or daytime touring to do the tour? Thanks, Amy's in Baltimore. All right. So one thing I know, I think I know about the tours, never done them, you know, not really my thing, but I don't think you're going to be able to do that at nighttime. I think it's going to be like a morning or lunchtime ish kind of thing. Cause that's when I
would think when business hours were.
Yeah, that's what I would think too.
Yeah.
So, do you know, or Pam, do you guys know anything on that? I don't.
I don't. And even if we told you the offer could change tomorrow and it would be completely different. It's just I don't believe the fast passes are good for every attraction. I mean, like most of the fast passes, they'll have the limits on flights of passage and all the big name attractions, the ones that you would have a challenge getting a fast pass for.
From what I've heard, Pam is correct. I believe they, as of the last thing I heard, they are still offering the fast passes. However, you can't get it for Flight of Passage, for Frozen Ever After, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, or Slinky Dog Dash, or I'm not sure about Alien Swirling Saucer, but I know Slinky Dog Dash was included in that. So, the ones that are hard to get, you're not going to get them for, you're not going to be able to use that for. So, yeah.
So we just got the best answer ever on the tuba in the chat.
Got it.
Marlisa has it. You go over to Riverside and you just jam out with Yeehaw Bob on a Wednesday Saturday night. Bob would absolutely let you get up there, dude. You'd be just rocking it. But you got to know his tunes. I mean,
that's right.
He's a professional. You could probably just pick it up. And can you imagine Bob and a tuba? That'd be the greatest show ever.
That would be so funny.
That would be.
That'd be awesome. All right, Chip's got a question in the chat. He says, I'll ask my question. Why not? Looking at going either 2020 or 2021 with the in-laws. The in-laws have never been, and I'll have 3 kids. They're going to be 7, 5, and 2. As a teacher, we go in the summer. Do you expect normal summer discounts next year, or would we just wait for the 50-year anniversary? It's going to be the in-laws' first time. All right, so Pam, what's your advice you give generally to folks when they're looking at 2020 summer, or obviously we just got into that, being able to book that, but looking into crystal ball for 2021, that's going to be the 50th. Discounts always based on availability and occupancy, right?
Absolutely. And the discounts have changed over the years, especially in the summer, to look at what they're offering in terms of the percentage discount. There's usually some discount available. The dates change a little bit every year. The discount amount changes every year, but there probably will be some kind of discount available. And, I think that I still am a big advocate of the fact that the summer is a great time to go.
I agree.
It just is. I don't think that we see the crowds that we do at some other times of year. I understand that the weather is a concern, but for me, I just really alter the way that I tour. And there's different things that I really think about when I'm choosing to go in the summer. And one of them is the resort that I'm staying at. I want to think about that pool area because I can guarantee we're going to be in the pool at least once a day, if not more often. Yeah. It's just the way it kind of works out. It becomes more important, things like that. So think about that. And think about the different kind of things that you may want to consider in the summer. Once you have a hopper pass, it's really not that much more to add water parks to your hopper pass. And that's something that you may actually use. It's not as if the water parks are less fun than the theme parks. I mean, That's the thing. Like, you can't stack up these experiences. They're all so different and unique and say, well, this one's more fun and this is less fun and whatever. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to do that, right? It's all a heck of a lot more fun than being at home. I will just tell you that. So think about some of the things that you can do. Disney World is not just about those theme parks. You have the water parks, you have the resort activities. I will tell you, I know that there are plenty of families with kids who just do the activities that are happening at their resort pool, and they walk away from that saying, you know what, that was one of my kids' favorite days. It wasn't in the parks. It wasn't whatever. They were at the pool hanging out that day. Everyone's relaxed. Mom and dad, can participate in the games, not participate in the games, whatever. But it's a good day too. So I think that the summer is always a great time to go. I don't think that there's any way we can predict whether the discounts will be better this year or next year. But I think there will be something available. Just be flexible if that's the most important thing you want to do is take advantage of those.
What I tell my guests when it comes to, predicting, or, we can't predict anything, obviously, but just, trying to talk about possible future discounts. Here's what I say. Book the hotel that you really want to stay in and get that deposit down, get locked into that. But in the back of your mind, have a little bit of flexibility to where when those discounts are released, if and when that happens for your travel dates, maybe it isn't for Beach Club and you're staying there. However, if you're open to staying at like a deluxe studio at Old Key West or moving over to Animal Kingdom Lodge in a 1-bedroom at Kidani, sometimes you can hit on a 30% discount if you just have a little flexibility where I maybe you're really wanting Beach Club, but if you're willing to try it, and it's not better or worse, it's a lot of times it's a different experience, a new experience. And, it just, that's where you get to make that decision. Do I want to make the change and save 30%, or do I really am I locked in on Beach Club? And you got it because you locked in on it early.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best way to go in a situation like this.
Agreed. We talk about at the agency, tell your agent your dream resort, right? So that sometimes when discounts come out, it may not be available at your resort, but it might be available at your dream resort. And it might not be that much more than you're paying right there, which I think is always, I think that was always one of my favorite things, to be able to say, you know what, you're staying here and here's the price. But we talked about how you've always wanted to stay at the Polynesian, and here's the price for this with this new discount. And that's kind of an awesome thing that people are like, oh my gosh, I've wanted to stay there my whole life, and now I'm going to. Boom.
Yep. 2 words, Disney math.
That's right. Yes, ask my husband. He became an expert in that early.
Yeah.
All right, Megan's got a question here in the live chat. It says, question for y'all. I've heard that on the Disney cruises, they may play a newly released or about to be released Disney movie. Has anyone had experience with this? My cruise is July 20th through the 24th of 2020, and Jungle Cruise comes out on July 24th. Any likelihood it might be shown? So Pam, and Ricky, we've done this because what they do on Disney Cruise Line, it's very awesome because obviously they own a studio. Mm-hmm. So what they call it is it's the premiere at sea. And so in replacement of your evening show, when a blockbuster movie comes out, like Endgame was premiered on the cruise line, same day as theaters. Our last podcast cruise, or one of the podcast cruises, it was Cars 3.
Nope, 2, and it was awful, and we all were bored as all get out.
3.
No,
You're right. I didn't even go watch it. I was tired that night. But I mean, we're going to be able to see Toy Story 4. Now, it's not premiering because it's already out, but we're going to see it during the podcast cruise. They'll be showing in the Buena Vista Theater. But Pam, I mean, Disney really kind of rolls out the red carpet and makes it feel like a Hollywood premiere at these things.
They do. And that's really a fun thing that Disney can do. The only challenge with her dates are her last day, the day that she's getting off the ship, is the day that will actually premiere. And you probably won't be able to see it because they don't do it early typically. They just do it on that same day.
They would probably do it at midnight, but I don't know on that last day if they would. I
don't know if they will either.
Yeah.
So you're just going to have to wait and see how they do that. But you will be able to see some great first run Disney films on the cruise. They usually are showing Disney films. But there are some great ones. Toy Story 4 will certainly be showing. And what else is out now?
Well, she's talking about next year, 2020. So.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay. That's right. So thankfully, I do have to think about. Wow. Yeah.
I don't know what's showing now. I definitely don't know what's showing July next year. No. That's not my jam.
What? Get my Karnak.
Remember, we used to do that. We got to bring that back. Yeah. All right. Chip's got another question. He says, "What's your favorite all you care to enjoy restaurant on property based on the food? We have big Boma fans. Also." Dinner, not breakfast. So they're big fans of Boma when it comes to the all you care to eat restaurants. I'm trying to think because there's so many of them. So we're talking buffets. Ricky, give us one. What's yours?
So I'm going with Garden Grill. I love their dinner at Garden Grill. It's fantastic. Good. The characters are really good. I've never had a disappointing meal at Garden Grill.
Pam, what do you think?
Golly. How about Cape May? They have those the crab legs and
I think they don't have characters and they weren't talking about characters. Never mind. Never mind. I was like, wait, they don't have characters for that one.
They do not. Yes, no, they don't. But they have more than just seafood there. They really have great ribs and rotisserie chicken and things like that. I think that that's a good choice for a lot of people.
It is. I've never eaten there because Pam can't get past the smell because she doesn't like seafood.
Yeah.
And it's strong.
It is. It is strong.
Yeah, because there's crab legs and there's clams and yeah.
Yeah, totally. But I would say mine. I know it's not fancy. Trails End. It's a good value, and that is my kind of food, man. That is my kind of food. I love going over to Fort Wilderness just to have the opportunity to go there. It's so cool. It's so unique.
Cool loco.
All right, next question. Let's go back to the inbox. First time Magical Express. Help. Hey, Mike, Pam, and Ricky. With the help of Mike, I'm traveling to the world with my best friend in September of this year. Let me just clarify. I'm not Lauren's best friend, but the best friend. I helped her book the trip. Just for record. We have decided to use Magical Express as our airport resort travel option. While we are seasoned Walt Disney World travelers, this is our first time we've ever used Magical Express. Sounds like Pam.
Right?
Any tips y'all have are greatly welcomed. I do have one specific question. This is my first time to the world without a rental car, so I'm a little uneasy about flexibility issues. For context, we're staying at the beach club and plan on spending most of our time at Epcot, so we're not too concerned with the travel to and from Epcot or the studios. However, for our Magic Kingdom day, would you suggest taking the bus, not the best at the beach club, or the monorail to the TTC and then to the park? For our Animal Kingdom day, what is your suggestion to get to the park? We have dinner at Jico that evening, so we plan on not leaving the area until after dinner. Thanks for your help, and thanks for all the Disney magic in between trips. You make the time a little more bearable. Lauren's down in Dallas, which they call the Big D, Texas. All right, so here's my thoughts on that. First of all, Magical Express, I've taken it many, many times. I think it's awesome. I mean, it's especially nowadays. I think it's the value of Magical Express has increased a lot with parking fees because like you definitely don't want to have a car because I mean, even at Pop Century, you're talking, the value is $15, 20 at the moderates, 25 at the deluxes. That's money you don't have to spend. You're not paying mirrors to get to and from the hotel. I think Magical Express is just going to become more and more popular, and it's simple. You sign up for it. You're traveling, like I'll take care of it for you. Obviously, you're working with me. You'll just give me your flight information. I'll sign you up. You get an envelope in the mail. You get your luggage tags, put them on your bags. You don't have to see them once you check them at your home airport. They show up in your hotel room. You get a letter, tells you exactly where to go when you land at MCO. It is so easy and so nice. I mean, it's not the fastest thing in the world. It's probably 15 minutes faster to use Uber or Lyft, but it's free and it's comfortable, and you get to watch a video on the way over. Get you pumped. I'm a huge fan of Magical Express. So, Ricky, you take it a lot too. So would you give her any tips for using it for the very first time?
Oh, I mean, Magical Express is seriously so simple. So all you have to do is go down to the B side of MCO, and they have signs that point you. It's all the way at the end of the hall, so just know that. But they have signs pointing you toward the right direction. You will need your magic band to get to the bus area, but it's so simple. I mean, they scan your magic band and they tell you which line to get in, and that's what you do. So yeah, I love taking Magical Express. I think it's a simple, easy way to get around, and I have zero problems doing it. I think you're right. It does have that bit of fun too, I mean,
if you're on a bus that has Mickey on the side, which I mean, we all know it's a Mirror's bus, but just got a delay. But I mean, it's like I'd rather be down that bus than a bi-state here in St. Louis.
Exactly. So I had a good time. I've had a good time taking Magical Express. So
yeah, and you get to watch that guy who I think he's a Street Mister actor. He
used to be an Adventurers Club cast member.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that guy. Yeah. What's his name? Herb.
I don't know what it is in real life.
I bet you I know right now when the show comes out because I pay attention. I know all the evacuation procedures.
That's right. Good for you.
All right, Pam. So I'm thinking, of course, you can walk to Epcot in the studios or take a boat, friendship boat. I think the monorail TTC transfers just too many steps. It's too much work. I know that you use shared buses at Beach Club and Yacht Club and Boardwalk, but I'd still say just get on the bus, sit down, relax, play with your phone, talk to your friend, and soak it in so you get to the Magic Kingdom, because it drop you off right up at the gate at Magic Kingdom. You don't want to have to deal with the TTC situation if you don't have to, right?
No, you don't. You definitely don't. And like the other thing is to just where you get dropped off, that whole thing. It's just a better situation. And between the yacht and the beach club and that, it doesn't take long at all. That whole process moves really quickly. So I think that adding extra steps and extra stops is just not the way to go. It just isn't. You'll just save yourself a lot of grief and heartache, I think, by doing this.
Now, she was also asking about going over to Animal Kingdom. I think she meant lodge for dinner at Jico.
Okay.
This is a thing. If you're going with your friend, I would splurge and get a minivan just one time during the trip and feel cool. Yeah. I mean, I think those are fun, or you could use Uber Lyft. But exactly. I would probably, one time Get a minivan. That'd be fun.
100%. Yes. It's so worth it. I will tell you, my husband now, you know how many times I've said he enjoys having a rental car.
Yes.
I have been able to move him off that point to some degree, and he will lift from places to places. He doesn't always have to have the car. He will lift. He still is not a fan of the buses, and I can't blame him there. That's his prerogative. He's on vacation. He doesn't want to deal with stuff he doesn't want to deal with. Right? I get it. No, neither do the rest of us. So, but yeah, he does lift from place to place, and he said he can take a lot of lift rides for the cost of the rental car. So
totally. Yeah, that's when I stopped renting a car, because the first two or three times I flew down, I got a rental. It was just like part of the deal. And like I started thinking, man, I can take a lot of Uber rides for the cost, and that was before parking. Sure. So the parking fees, at least a Lyft ride, or because at a value, I mean, it's a Lyft ride or an Uber ride's like usually $10, $15 with your tip, maybe. Right. So that's one night of parking. Anyway, all right. So Amy's got a quick question in the live chat, and we appreciate our live chatters over on Facebook. Hers is simple: would you rather Le Cellier or Yachtsman?
Oh, oh man. I mean,
easy. I think for me.
I think it's easy for me too. I'm gonna go Yachtsman.
Me too.
Yeah.
I've never been to Yachtsman still.
Well,
oh my God.
You can come join us.
We do have a reservation. Yeah, I was gonna say. We do have a reservation, and for me, and I know Ricky kind of feels the same way, but they have these onion rolls that are so good. You would think a steak place you're going to mention the onion rolls, but let me just tell you, the onion rolls are great. They present them with this roasted head of garlic and this fantastic salt. So good. The side dishes that you can order and the appetizers at Yachtsman are so good. Like they have a truffle mac and cheese. Boom. Yeah. So good. Their asparagus is good. Just everything, like even if you're just getting like the mushrooms, like as a side, like everything is just so good there. So I would get that. And you know what? We tend to have really good service at Yachtsman. Now, I haven't been to Le Cellier in a while. It's been a little bit, but it still reminds me of, this is going to take me back. Are there some old timers out there? Because let me tell you, the Le Cellier used to be the Gemma cafeteria for Canada. It actually was a cafeteria. You would get your lunch tray and you would walk down and you would pick out like your Jello with whipped cream here and your whatever.
That's the best.
And you would do that. So that's how you would eat there. But yeah, it has a little bit of a dungeony feel to it, I think, right? Don't you think?
Like it's like a man cave.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, especially when it's really, really hot in the summer. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with a little dungeon in your day. But I think I appreciate Yachtsman so much more. We've just always had great experiences there, and they have some really interesting food. So, yep.
There you go. We're staying at Yacht Club, so maybe we'll have to make it happen this trip.
I told you, come with us. How would you not enjoy this? There's steak.
I know.
I'll send the other kids away, and we'll come over.
There you go.
Make them share something, or go somewhere else.
Tell them to go eat at Hurricane Hannah's.
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking. Yeah, or the fountain or something.
Yeah.
Yes. Bye. See you later.
Yep. All right. So I had a thought and I forgot. Oh, dude, Ricky, you're probably too young to remember Pope's Cafeteria at Central City. Do you remember that? I love that. I love that place.
I'm sorry.
And it had exactly what Pam says. She just brought back a memory. The little Jello with the whipped cream. I got that every time. I loved it. And you just went
Who eats the Jello with the whipped cream though? Is that your dessert choice?
I don't know. My grandparents. It was
it was true. The last cruise we went on with Beans, Hannah took her up to pick desserts, and you know what she picked?
The Jello,
the lime Jello.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm still having
that whole case of desserts, and she picked the lime Jello.
Thank you.
Watch Friday. I'm having a lime Jello.
Then you said for Beans.
Please, somebody take a picture of it and send it to me when we get back on the cruise. From the cruise.
I'm definitely doing it. All right, next question is from Megan. Says, hi, my family and I will be at Epcot this fall during the Food and Wine Festival. That is a festival I've never been to, and I don't really understand it. How exactly does it work? Can I find a guide to it somewhere? Ricky, so walk her through how Food and Wine works.
Yeah, so there's a guide, all right. We have it on the Mouse for Less. So if you want to find out about all the fun that happens during the Food and Wine Festival, we've got it listed there. All the seminars, all the menus for all the different food booths, the concert series. It's just, we've got everything over there. So that'll spell it out really simple. But yeah, like I said, there are basically in a nutshell, there are the different food booths that are all around each different country. There's usually about 30 to 35. Each food item costs anywhere between, $5 to $9-ish, depends. The beverages cost a little more than that, especially if they have alcohol. But you can go around, you can pick the different food items that you want at different booths, try different things and things like that. That's really the main draw of a Food and Wine Festival. And then they do have like seminars and things like that. Special celebrities come into town. They have seminars where they teach you how to cook. Of course, you have to sign up for those ahead of time. Other special events that involve cooking. There are special dinners that happen at various Epcot restaurants that you can sign up for as well. Then they are like 3-course meals usually during those. And they kind of talk to you about, how they prepare the meal, that kind of thing. And then, of course, there's the Eat to the Beat concert series, which is a bunch of artists from the, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, like my band Hanson, that kind of thing. They come and perform. And they do 3 shows a night. So all the details are on the Mouse for Less about the Food and Wine Festival. Just search Epcot Food and Wine Festival and everything will pop up for you.
Well, the thing too about the festival is it's just there. It's part of Epcot. It's part of your Epcot day. When you're there, you don't have to do anything extra. You just show up and you go around and.
Yeah, except for you do have to pay for the food, or
you pay for the food, but
or things like that. Basically the event overall, yes, you don't have to pay. Yeah, but
it's really easy. You just walk in, and man, there's all kinds of
there's
stuff.
Food booths. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the last question of the day, and it's a birthday dinner question from Melissa. Hey, Mike, Pam, and Ricky, love the podcast. We're taking our 2 sons to Walt Disney World for their 3rd and 5th birthdays, and are wondering if you have done the Pirates and Pals fireworks dessert voyage. Our boys tend to go to bed super early, like 6:30 Central.
Oh my gosh.
Holy cow, I thought I went to bed early. 6:30 Central, but also stayed up much later on our last Walt Disney World trip. Do you think it's something they would enjoy at their ages? Any other suggestions for celebrating young kids' birthdays at Walt Disney World? Melissa's up in Minnesota. Ooh. All right, so Ricky, have you written anything up on the Pirates and Pals fireworks dessert voyage? That's a mouthful.
I think we have a blog article that someone has done in the past about it. I obviously haven't done it. I think I'm a little too old for it. I'm pretty sure we have had somebody write up an article about it. But the thing that concerns me is their bedtime and how early they go to bed. And even though they've been up late in the past, you can't guarantee that they would stay up late for that. And then you feel like you wasted your money if they didn't go. So
here's the thing I like about the situation, though, is I think with something like that that's experiential is that when you have a buddy, especially a sibling, it makes it easier to do something like that. I think when you drop off a single kid, they're going to be a little sketched out, because they're like, they don't know anybody.
Yeah,
like that. Pam, what are your thoughts on that?
So I haven't done this in particular, but I've done a lot of the different activities that they've had over the years, some specific to kids, some not. This is actually for both, this is for families to experience together.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking the one was just the kids. That they always PA line.
But this is the fireworks one. So what happens is they start in the Contemporary, and I've seen that group together before they go out to their boat. You kind of meet sort of on the same level that they do for the California Grill. So I've seen that lots of times, and they do a great job. There's like a couple of characters that are kind of scallywags that sort of get you out there on the boat and are joking around with you and keep things moving along. So it seems like a lot of fun. When I saw it, the people interacting with the characters were having a really good time and really enjoying it. And I think most kids will stay up for, fireworks. I mean, that's a pretty cool event. So I think that it might be something that works really well for you and something that y'all can experience together as a family. So
did we not, Pam? I know years and years ago, we took some kind of a fireworks cruise where the boat almost sank when we were out in Seven Seas Lagoon. Remember, like there's water coming in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what was happening, but the guy was driving it too fast or something. Like water was coming over the edges. It was getting our backpacks wet. But
yes.
We were docked right next to one of those. Like they're having a blast.
Yeah, they were.
Person boat. It was awesome.
Yeah. It was, yeah, for sure. They did. They looked like they were having a great time. There was a lot of singing and music and whatever coming from that boat. So they were having a good time.
They were having a good time. We were like bailing water, trying to stay afloat. It was like the Titanic. We're like, what's going on here? It's cold. It was super
right?
It was like Christmas.
I know.
It was super cold that night on the water.
Yeah.
But I'll say, give it a shot. I think it'd be kind of fun. Try things like, because I mean, do you want to? Okay, should I tell the secret what we used to do to keep Paige awake till 3 a.m. for extra magic hours?
Okay.
Now she's 22.
I think I have a feeling I know.
We got her those, and I think they still sell them.
Yeah,
like those tubes of just pure sugar. Of different colors. Yeah, like we call them.
Oh man.
And just go at it, kid. Shoot us on sugar highs, solid for like 6 hours.
Nice. Awesome. Good to go.
We have a picture of her with one that was like as tall as she was. It's Magic Kingdom. Probably cost us like $20, but who cares? We're having a good time that night, and she stayed up.
That's funny.
Great parenting, right? I know. It's a miracle she
It
graduated.
happens.
It does happen. All right, we're going to get out of here before we give any more terrible parental advice. And thank you for stopping by today. And if you have questions, send those to mike@beourguestpodcast.com. Today's show brought to you by our friends over at virtualmickey.com, home of great iPhone apps like Theme Park News, Disney Edition. Ricky, what are we reading this week on Theme Park News, Disney Edition? What's going on?
It's actually, I say this now, it's been quiet, but we do have information about Topolino's Terrace, which is opening up at Disney's Riviera Resort, and reservations are now available for this, what will be a signature dining experience at the top of the Riviera. They're going to also offer a character breakfast in the morning and then the signature dinner at night. But it looks like it's got a fantastic menu, and of course, you're going to be able to have those great views of the fireworks in the evening. So this is definitely one to consider for sure. Since it is signature in the evening, there will be a dress code, so just keep that in mind. But breakfast, no dress code, so you're all good there too. But yeah, definitely something to keep in mind for those of you planning. I think the Riviera opens up in December, so get your reservation now.
All right, so stay in the know with great information just like this with Theme Park News Disney Edition. It's a free iOS app, so turn your Apple device into a Disney device today over at virtualmickey.com. Support the show with our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. I know Prime Day is coming up very soon, so when you're getting those specials, also click through our link and you'll just kill like 6 birds with 1 stone, and it'll be awesome. So beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Again, I'm down at Walt Disney World right now. Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at BeOurGuestMike and at BeOurGuestPod. And I'll be live on Facebook as well, facebook.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. All right, so we're going to be back again on Friday where we're talking about Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge versus Disney's Wilderness Lodge. Which one is better for certain situations, for certain groups, certain times of the year? We're going to have just a discussion to talk about these two very similar resorts, but they do have their pluses and minuses when you're looking for different experiences. So we're going to have a good time on Friday, so please join us for that. But until then, for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. I'm headed to the parks. We'll see you real soon. All right, let me save that one.
Awesome.
This will be my last Taco Bell tonight for like 2 weeks.
Aww.
Even though bookings come out for that hotel this week. 3.
No.
God, we won't do a podcast for 3 weeks. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, yeah, we will, because we're doing one at Give Kids a World. And I'll have all the equipment. So I'm thinking I might sit down with somebody like George or somebody on the cruise and see if I can record like a live show.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
I mean, I'm hauling this stuff all over God's creation. Like you bring it for like 1 2 hour window, but I'll be dragging this thing on the cruise. I'll be dragging it to 3 different hotels. I'm like,
I could see about you leaving it at my brother's.
Okay. I mean, I'll see. I mean, I don't think it'll be that big a deal.
Let me know, because he lives down there. So, I mean, he has an apartment. So
I've got it pretty small. I mean, it's not as big as you might think.
Okay.
I've kind of slimmed it down, but we'll see, because I'm going to use my laptop or my MacBook Air for it.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Stay safe, Laurie. Okay. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1504 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com. And what did Jack say in Titanic? the SS Disney Dream, baby. I'm with these good people breaking bread with the smartest people in the world. I don't know what his line was. We probably shouldn't talk Titanic on the Be Our Guest podcast cruise sailing day, but hey, I love that movie and I think it did a lot for cruising. Just a personal opinion. But we are going to have a great time today talking Disney resorts with our mini series about comparing two resorts that are very similar and talking about how you may or may not want to stay there in certain times of the year, or one might be better than the other for certain parts of the family, members of the family, stuff like that. We have a good time today. Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge on the agenda. So joining us today from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and the Mouse for Less. And I couldn't tell if she was frozen or if she was just sitting really, really still. We have Ricky. What's going on, Ricky?
I'm here and I'm at home. It's fine. It's fine. I'm here and home. It's fine.
You got to keep we can't just the Mouse for Less would crash if we're all gone.
I know. It would, but that's okay. I'll get to see you all soon, so it's all fine. It's all fine.
July 4th.
July 4th. Can't wait for the meetup. It's gonna be fun. Yes.
That's right. 8:00 Japan. Be there and get ready for selfies. It's gonna be fun. All right. Also joining us, we have the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forrester. Happy Be Our Guest podcast cruise 5-day. Pam, what's going on?
Oh my gosh. It's weird because you plan so far in advance and you keep thinking when you plan, oh my gosh, we have whatever months and years for that to happen. It won't ever get here. And then it finally does. And you're like, oh, I think I need a little more time.
Yeah.
Just a couple more hours, maybe.
Yeah.
I just can't wait because, the thing about, vacations to Walt Disney World and cruises and stuff is that you get to pick out a new outfit sometimes.
That's true.
That occasion. And I've been dying to break out this outfit that I got. And I can't wait. Head to toe, it's going to be pretty sweet.
I don't know about that. Sure. Let's go with that.
We've all been texting back and forth. When do we wear it? Do we wear it to Palo? Do we wear it here? Do we wear it there? It's it's got to be the right situation. So again, watch Instagram and Twitter. You'll find out. It's going to be
Oh my. Okay.
All right, so we're going to continue on with our mini series comparing the two resorts that are similar in a certain category. We've talked about Riverside and French Quarter. We kind of accidentally kicked it off by talking Beach Club and Yacht Club. So today we're going to talk about Disney's Wilderness Lodge and Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. So as I understand, and I am 99% this is true, but I'm not a historian like Matt Parrish, these were designed by the same architect, right, Ricky?
Yes, that is correct. Same style, same architect. Yeah, went with this. And you can see that. As soon as you step into both of them, it's this feels like the other one. So, yep, same.
Yeah, they're both very grand and, large in scale as far as the introduction to the hotel itself. Whether it's Wilderness Lodge, when you walk through those big, heavy wooden doors and you see the big open place, you kind of hear Whispering Canyon. Animal Kingdom Lodge, you go into a gigantic main room there with the vistas out into the savannah. So similar, and also they're similar in the fact that when you're looking at pricing structures, I've heard a lot of people refer to, and of course Disney has their categories and everybody has their unofficial categories. And I've heard that Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge are kind of like a deluxe light. They're kind of maybe on the price scale, many times a step below Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk, Polynesian, Grand Floridian, Contemporary kind of situation. So Pam, talk about that for a second as far as, are they kind of on a little tier themselves? I know they're deluxe, but what do you think on that?
They are. So they're absolutely, when you're looking at the deluxe resorts at Walt Disney World and all the amenities that they have, the Wilderness Lodge and the Animal Kingdom Lodge in their standard room category are going to get you in at one of the lowest price points to experience a deluxe resort. And when you're thinking about a deluxe resort at Disney, there's going to be a few things that you want to think about. First of all, I think that the deluxes have the most overall theming, right? They really carry that theme through well. They do it in their dining. They do it in their pool area. They do it in their recreation areas, everything like that. So if you're someone who appreciates the theme of a Disney resort, then I think you're going to appreciate the theme at the deluxes a lot. And for my money, when you're looking at the theme, I think Animal Kingdom Lodge and Wilderness Lodge do this in a way that may be much better than some of the more expensive deluxe resorts when you really think about it. So love those two resorts. The one thing to go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say, because Brian's commenting in the room, and I think in the chat room here, and I think he's agreeing exactly with what you're saying. Didn't mean to interrupt, but he's like talking about how, and this is where I think you're right, that I think Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge supersede a yacht club, beach club, or boardwalk for sure in those three resorts, is that the theming goes into the guest rooms.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, they're really nice rooms at Boardwalk Beach and Yacht.
Yep.
But there's not like a strong theme in the room. It's decorated, but it's not, I mean, like in Wilderness Lodge, you'd swear your bed's made out of like logs from outside. And, you know, Animal Kingdom Lodge has those dark woods, and it seems like it's crafted from Africa. So continue though, because I think Brian's totally agreeing with you here.
It's true. And I think that the Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge do sort of not smack you in a bad way, but sort of smack you in the face with their theme. I mean, you walk into those two lobbies, and first of all, you're going to do a, yeah, you know, because you're going to look out to the back, you know, you'll be able to see that beautiful wall of windows, and each one that sort of looks out to what is a signature spot for their resort. The Animal Kingdom Lodge looks out over that beautiful Arusha Savannah. The Wilderness Lodge looks out over the courtyard, which has the pool and the geyser that starts in the lobby and travels down into the pool. So, I mean, it's really amazing. Now, like other deluxe resorts, they're going to have the queen beds available. There are some rooms that do have king bedding available. And unlike the other deluxe resorts, the standard rooms are not going to have rooms that accommodate up to 5 guests, while your other standard rooms at the deluxe resorts are going to have rooms that accommodate up to 5, because they put a day bed in there as well. So that's one thing you're going to have to note. If you're a family of 5 or more, you'll have to either look at one of the other deluxe resorts to accommodate your family in a standard room, or look at one of the upgraded room options, of which there are lots at both the Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge. So consider that. Like other deluxe resorts, you're going to have at least 1 table service restaurant, in most cases 2 table service restaurants, and you're going to have a quick service location too. And that's in addition to any other little small area they may have. Now, Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge, once again, have some really great options in the food area. I'm sure we'll talk about that later, right? Like other deluxe resorts, they're going to have some different transportation options. And this really pertains to the Wilderness Lodge, because the Animal Kingdom Lodge really just has bus transportation to all the parks. But you're really close to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, like really close. Like you get on the bus and you get situated, and then you're there. So yeah. Anyways, it's like it's like no other bus ride, right? But the Wilderness Lodge is also, in addition to the bus transportation, it's going to have boat transportation over to the Magic Kingdom, which happens to be one of my favorite boat rides in all of Magic Kingdom, or all of Walt Disney World, and then to the Magic Kingdom. It is just a great spot. So consider those things too.
Yeah, that boat ride post Magic Kingdom closing is sweet at night when you're just kind of going back. And one of the things, if you've never stayed at Wilderness Lodge and you take that boat ride back from Magic Kingdom to the lodge, it's really neat, because the way it's designed is that your dock where you get on and off the boat at Wilderness Lodge is you kind of do walk through like a pseudo wilderness as you go up to the lodge itself. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not scary, but it's because it's well lit and everything, and you're on a boardwalk, but it's thematic. I mean, you're walking through basically a scene as you get back to your hotel.
You are. It's really cool. There's, like Spanish moss hanging from the trees. And I think at the Wilderness Lodge in particular, they did a great job incorporating some of the things that you may find in the Pacific Northwest when you're looking at the tree species that they have in that area. There's a lot of evergreen and pine trees there. And I think that just really helps add to the appeal. I mean, you smell them. It's that cool. So.
And you hear it at night, because there are crickets and frogs. And I mean, it's still Florida. I mean, it's exotic. You do hear the wildlife at night, and it's not fake. I mean, I like that stuff. So that's big for me. So Ricky, let me ask you this. So you got Wilderness Lodge, you got Animal Kingdom Lodge. Somebody tells you the price point's about the same. You're going down. What kind of things are swirling through your head if you had to pick between just these two? Like, what factors should somebody think about? Like, okay, I got the choice between Wilderness or Animal Kingdom Lodge. Which one am I staying at? What are you thinking about?
Well, definitely first you need to think about which parks you're looking at spending more time at. If you're looking at spending more time at like the Magic Kingdom, then you definitely want to stay at Wilderness Lodge. If say, Animal Kingdom is more your jam and that's where you're going to go, then you absolutely want to stay at, Animal Kingdom Lodge because it's so close. I mean, literally like hop, skip, and jump. But if you're looking at spending more time at Epcot and the studios, then, really you have other factors to consider. One of them that I think is very important is the time of year that you're going to be there. Because, Wilderness Lodge, to me, that is a winter resort. I mean, yes, I like going there anytime. It's definitely my other home, even though I've never stayed there, but it's certainly like, it has a special place in my heart. But there's just something so nice because they have the cozy fireplaces and, everything that, if I was there for the winter, I'd be all over staying at, Wilderness Lodge. If it's summertime, then I definitely might consider Animal Kingdom Lodge and with that Savannah room because, hello, you get to see animals out your window. I mean, how awesome is that? And if you've got a family member who's really into, animals and seeing those, then you absolutely want to consider Animal Kingdom Lodge because literally you can see a giraffe or a zebra right outside your door or your window, I guess I should say. So
out the door, actually.
It's a giraffe.
Yeah, at the door.
I mean, it's a door slash window.
Thank you. We're sleeping.
Knock, housekeeping.
I know. I'm surprised that someone hasn't gotten upset that they've enlisted all of those animals to help with the chores around the lodge.
It really gets to be a mess sometimes. I'm just saying.
You have to wonder, do they cause more mess than they clean up? I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, let me throw this in because a couple things, we're just kind of bouncing all these ideas around the place. My first foray into staying at a deluxe resort was Wilderness Lodge because I had a discount booked on a room at Riverside. We're going to stay at Riverside for like 4 nights. This was years ago, and then Disney released a discount and another discount. And the thing was, I looked at Wilderness Lodge because same as Ricky, I'd never stayed there, but I'd gone over there a couple times and like, man, this place is cool. We ate at Whispering Canyon. It's just neat looking. Like I just loved it. And so I looked and it wasn't that much more than Riverside with this new discount for a standard room. And we went for it I think we did like 2 nights there and 2 nights at Riverside just to get a taste. And it was great. I loved it. Like, I think that's a great way though, to go from like a value to a moderate for the first time or a moderate to a deluxe. Just try a couple nights. And a lot of times you can catch a discount. Now, the thing is, Ricky mentioned something that's really, really important because Wilderness Lodge is insanely popular after Thanksgiving until the New Year. So if you want to book into that time where basically the big Christmas trees in the middle of the lobby, you need to do that ASAP. So right now we can't book. Well, we're getting very close because it's 499 days. We'll be very close to being able to book that holiday season at Wilderness Lodge for 2020 very soon. But you want to do that. Pam, you talk about, you got to early bird gets the worm. That's very true with the holidays at Wilderness Lodge.
It really is. And I don't think there's any better place to spend the holidays than at the Wilderness Lodge. Really is just the perfect setting for Christmas. I know when Hannah was little, there were a few Christmases in a row where that was our tradition, as we would go down and stay at the Wilderness Lodge for the holidays because there was really just nothing better. You walk in and the lobby's even more spectacular with that incredible tree. I forget how many stories it is, but it's huge and just wonderful. And of course, each of the decorations is really themed to the lodge. That's something that Disney does fantastically at every resort. But even more so, there's just like little teepees and there's antlers and it's just really, really cool. So that's awesome to stay there at that time. They change their background loop that they play there. And there's a lot of great holiday songs there too. But another little cool thing about being there at the Wilderness Lodge is that you're just a walk down the path or a boat ride away from Fort Wilderness where you can see all those people that maxed out their campsite. And these people, it's like, I swear they must bring another vehicle that's just carrying decorations, right? to do this. They have every square inch of their campsite loaded down with great decor. But I just don't you love that? Like, that is something that is just a really cool little thing. I love when people who are just so into it go all out and bring the stuff with them. So, I mean, another great reason to stay there. But I will say Animal Kingdom Lodge in its own right is really cool at the holidays too. They have the same really tall Christmas tree. Of course, lots of different decor on that tree. It's themed toward the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and you're going to see a lot of things that fit right in with the theme there. You also have the ability to walk over to not just Kidani, and see those trees, the trees there too. So that's a cool thing. You have Jumbo House and Kidani there too. So I wouldn't hesitate to stay at either one.
Well, see, and that's the thing too, is that over the years, both of these resorts have, changed and grown. I mean, Wilderness Lodge used to just be the lodge building itself, the one you picture when, the green roof and the tall building, the lodge. But now you got Boulder Ridge and you got Copper Creek, and you got Geyser Point out there, kind of in the middle. It's really become almost like a complex. And I mean, if you think about the Animal Kingdom Lodge, it's bigger than you think. I mean, the Jumbo House is really big, and Kidani Village, I think, is bigger than a lot of people think in their mind's eye. So you have lots of options. So let's keep moving here because there's so much to talk about. So you mentioned it earlier, Pam, dining. And I think really between these two hotels, they have some of the best dining at resorts anywhere on property. They have a wide variety, I think. So Pam, you take Wilderness Lodge. We'll give Animal Kingdom Lodge to Ricky here. So we'll start off with Wilderness Lodge.
Okay, so Wilderness Lodge has some great dining locations. First of all, they have quick service available at Roaring Fork. And I think that they've done a good job. First of all, they renovated this in the last few years. And I think that they've done a really good job with it. They've opened it up. They have some different choices. And I think they've made it more accessible to a lot of people. They actually have sort of an outdoor seating area now too, which before it used to be really small, and now that's sort of bigger. Now we'll move into where I think the Wilderness Lodge shines, and that's their table service locations. And they have, first of all, Whispering Canyon Cafe, which is famous around the interwebs, as they say, for ketchup and horse racing and all kinds of things. But really have done, I think, a good job in the past few years, I think, updating their menu a little bit too. And I think they've really focused on what people really respond to and what they're looking for at a meal. It's still all you care to eat at all of the different meals, but they have not only that all you care to eat skillet, they have a la carte options too. So if all you care to eat is not your cup of tea, that's okay. You have other choices to make. And they've made it recently so that you have the choice of a few different skillets. Some may meet different people's needs a lot better. So that's a great choice. Over in the same building, the main building is, of course, Artist Point, which has gone to the very popular Snow White dinner. And I think one of the things that happened with Artist Point is that with some folks, they couldn't relate to the food or something, and they've made this switch to address the issue also that the Wilderness Lodge didn't have character dining. And I know a lot of people really wanted to see that. So now you have that option. It is an option where it's not an all you care to enjoy kind of meal in that it comes in a skillet or whatnot. It's pre-plated, but you could ask for different substitutions. So if you didn't like one of the appetizers coming out, you could ask for different ones and things like that. So keep that in mind. And now we have sort of this new sort of conglomeration of things over at Geyser Point, which has a quick service component to it. So you can, again, you have another quick service location, and it is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So keep that in mind. Then you also have this sort of outdoor lounge experience, which I think is just so great. I'm so glad to see this coming into Disney Resorts, because now we see it at Three Bridges over at Coronado too, which focuses on food, I think, that fits in very well with the theme, but it's an outdoor location. So I think it's really a great location. You sit out there, it's on the water. The food's great. The drinks are great. So it's a great location for that too. And that is the food at the Wilderness Lodge, and now I'm really hungry. And also dreaming about Geyser Point, which is one of my favorite places to go. So
me too, because I think, you got to consider this as an option if you're at the Magic Kingdom, to go get a decent meal and get off your feet and just kind of relax. Like just take, say you're not going, say you're staying at All Star Music, or you're staying at Pop Century, and you don't want to go back to take a break to your hotel. Take that boat from the Magic Kingdom over to Wilderness Lodge, Geyser Point, order a burger, some fries, and a beer, if that's your jam for lunch, and you got a way more chill kind of reset to your day. And then you can go back to the Magic Kingdom where it's, busy and high energy and all that stuff. But Pam, I agree. And you've said this for years, that you and Steve actually, when the weather breaks in Pittsburgh, you've said that like you guys seek out places where you can eat outside when the weather's nice. And I think, that's something that we don't do in our everyday life, a lot of folks very often. So when you get that opportunity at a place like Geyser Point, in a place like Florida, grasp it, go for it.
You have to. And that's you have a lot more opportunity in Florida than you do here. So, and I think even, like you mentioned, like if you're staying at a different resort and you don't want to go all the way back to your hotel, even if you have kids in tow, this is sort of an adventure and an experience, right? Get on the boat, take the boat over, explore the Wilderness Lodge. It's a different hotel. Kids love to explore a new area just like we do as adults. So it's a great way to go.
All right, Ricky, let's hop over to Animal Kingdom Lodge. I mean, talk about dining, especially if you're somebody that's a foodie. This is a heaven right here.
Absolutely. So Animal Kingdom Lodge, because it is, themed after the Africa Savannah, that kind of thing, they have African influences in some of their dining. So first we have the Mara, which is the quick service location, and they have some really, really unique items here at the Mara. Overall, I mean, I know that it was the first place I'd ever tried couscous, which granted this was a few years ago and everything, but still, I mean, they have there's different things like falafel bites. Of course, they have things like the chicken nuggets and the bacon cheeseburger and things like that. But they also have
zebra domes in the cooler.
Yes, the zebra domes in the cooler. I was gonna get there, but you beat me to it.
That's it.
They have a tamarind barbecue pork sandwich. They have an African stew. There's a lot of unique things that they have on their menu that they don't have a lot of other places. And yes, zebra domes are definitely one of them. And for those who don't know what zebra domes are, they're basically chocolate mousse baked with amarilla cream liqueur, coated in white chocolate and drizzled with chocolate stripes and chocolate shavings. So that's what zebra domes are, and they're delicious. So,
and they don't have peanut butter. This is me and Hannah's ongoing argument. She swears that they have peanut butter. I'm like,
no,
they don't have peanut butter.
Does she not like peanut butter?
No, I mean she does. She thinks they're fine, but she's like, there's peanut butter, and I'm like,
no. That's chocolate, dude.
Incorrect.
Kids just like to argue with you, Ricky.
Yes,
when you're a parent, but it's like
I get it. Yeah,
I got to give a PSA real quick in my quick talking voice. No zebras were harmed in this zebra dome.
That's correct. Yes. Okay. Got it. Good. From there, we move on to Boma, which is, again, one of the more interesting buffets at Walt Disney World. This one's interesting. It does not have characters, but the dishes on both the breakfast as well as the dinner menu are just some of the more unique options. They do have things like, oh my gosh, I've had their French toast bread pudding, which is fantastic, which definitely isn't a unique option, but it's just good. They have, instead of Mickey waffles, which they also have, but they have waffles with Simba and Nala in them, to theme after The Lion King. They have... oh my gosh, it's the plantains, they have those on the menu for breakfast. It's just, they have so many great dishes, a quinoa salad for breakfast, African fruit fool, which is the name of one of the salads as well. And then for dinner, they move on to, they have so many different salads here, like a watermelon rind salad,
much better than it sounds.
Yes, a Tunisian couscous salad, a spinach and quinoa salad, Ghana tomato salad, like so many salads. Then they have the soup that they're famous for, which is like it's like a coconut curry chicken soup, which everybody.
That chowder they have there is so good.
Yes, the chicken corn chowder. Is that the one?
I don't know what it is, but it's like it's right in the middle. I get just bowls of that stuff.
I mean,
again, it is so good.
So many different types of soup. They have so many different types of hummus and dip. They have, so many different meats on the spit, boba tie. I mean, it's literally things that and again, they have, things that we think of as well. So they also have roasted chicken and salmon and ribs and things like that. But they've peppered in some very unique options for their dinner and breakfast menu that would just really make this a fantastic meal. Again, no characters at Boma, but you don't need them because the food is just stellar. So you definitely want to try that restaurant if you haven't been there before. And then we
always bring our own characters for one thing. So
yes, exactly. That's true. That's definitely true.
I'm sitting with.
Yes.
But
yes.
We'll also say, being somebody from the Midwest, and I'm not trying to be funny here because this is the honest to God truth. Like, you guys know, like the places I typically eat, like Texas Roadhouse is fancy for,
I know. We've had that discussion.
Kind of the life in St. Louis. But the thing is, like at Boma, I was trying, very unique tastes, but they weren't like scary to me. It was almost like a kind of like a steak thing, but it had like a different kind of seasoning on it. And I enjoyed that. But when I looked at the name on the buffet, I didn't know what that was, or like some kind of a chowder. I didn't really know what was in that chowder, but I tried it and it was really good. So I think it's exotic, but it's not scary at the same time for somebody like me who's just, I think like average Joe when it comes to eating.
Absolutely. It's yes, I think that's the key. It looks exotic. The name may be exotic, but give it a try. You may find something that you really like, and then you want to try making again, which comes later when I mention my favorite restaurant of Sanaa. But moving along, we have Jiko, which is a signature dining experience. And again, it takes the flavors of Africa. So for appetizers, they have North African spiced scallops. They have green tomato gazpacho. They have artisanal cheese selections, which look fantastic, by the way. They have, oh my gosh, I can't pronounce that. Ngunde Tibbs in Burke. I mean, I don't even know what that is. It's mushrooms, spinach, cheese, and a crispy Tunisian phyllo, apples, curry vinaigrette. See, now when you put it in those terms, it sounds delicious. When you just take the name of it, you're like, what is this? You have other things like lamb tagine, tremola chicken. They have the oak grilled filet mignon, which is, one of the things that they are famous for, especially because you can still get with the mac and cheese if you ask for it. The Bokap Malay seafood curry. Again, these things sound scary. I promise you they're not. They just, they sound a little terrifying just by their names, but it's just because we, don't have things named these things in America. So That's why. Yeah. They freak out Mike is basically what I'm saying. So
let me throw this in though, because I've been to Jiko once. We went when we were down with a group from the agency over at Jiko, and my perception, again, I think with Walt Disney World, a lot of it is perception. I think in a lot of it is incorrect perception, just from like what you read from a distance or what you see, like when you walk past someplace. Fortunately, like a couple of years prior to this, I did the free tour of Boma and Jiko, which you can do if you're staying at the lodge. Like it's like at 11 or it was like at 1 in the afternoon on a rainy day. And so they just talk to you about the restaurants and give you a little sample from Jiko. But when we went that night, Pam, I will say that I was a little nervous about it, but it was elegant but casual in a way. Like it wasn't stuffy at all. It seemed upscale but casual. I don't know. It's kind of like opposites, but that's how I felt about it.
No, I think it does. And I think Disney does a really good job of making food that may not be as familiar to everyone and bringing it and presenting it in a familiar way. And if you ever have concerns or questions about things, they'll be able to relate all of that to you, the ingredients that are in it, or you tell them, you know what, I really want to try this, but I don't like anything hot, spicy. They'll say, you know what, well, here's what we can do. We can do this. Or I wouldn't recommend you try that. I recommend this. Or if you say, here's what I'm looking for, they will kind of help walk you through this. Or if you want to say, let's just keep that sauce on the side so that you can do things like that. It doesn't have to be scary to you. And I think Disney does a great job of that.
All right, Ricky, talk about one of the hidden gem restaurants that once you discover, you love it because it's also an experience, but it's got amazing food. Talk to us about Sanaa.
Oh my gosh. If you haven't been to Sanaa, you have to get over to Animal Kingdom Lodge, specifically Kidani Village, for some of the best food. So it's African inspired as well as Indian flavors. And Sanaa they have some breakfast items. It's kind of a grab and go breakfasty option. Like it's an interesting experience what they have for breakfast. But where the restaurant really shines is their lunch and dinner menu, because they are famous for their bread service. So you get 5 different kinds of bread, non-bread, and then all these different accompaniments. You can choose to do either 3 accompaniments.
No, you get them all.
Why would you choose 3? No, you get all 9 accompaniments. It's not that much more to get all 9.
No, you get them all.
You get them all. You get them all. So this literally could be a meal in itself. But Brian and I have learned about the other awesome dish that I absolutely love and now make at home, and that is butter chicken. So this is where I tried that. It is so fantastic. And it's one of our favorite things. You can do other things like a quinoa vegetable tabbouleh salad, or the Kenya coffee barbecue sandwich, which is pulled pork with root vegetable slaw served on a naan bun, tandoori shrimp, tandoori chicken. There's again so many things that are great at this restaurant, but really you're going there for the bread service and the butter chicken because both are fantastic.
Well, and too, I mean, it's too, the restaurant is beautiful. I mean, even if you don't get a window side seat, which if you get a window seat, it's amazing seeing the animals. You want to try to go before it's dark, though. Obviously, they don't light the savannah. But even if you're not, and you go there at night and you're not sitting by the windows, like just the light fixtures are just just bright African tones, like orange and yellows and reds, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous restaurant. I love the vibe of this. And I've had a really good, I mean, I know this sounds like basic, but I had a really, really good hamburger there one day for lunch. We got, because we got like a couple bread services on the table, and we each got like a hamburger, and like they got split it with Pam, and it was a great lunch. I mean, great. It wasn't super expensive either.
And that's the best thing about Sanaa is if you get the bread service, you can easily split an entree. And then it's, again, if you're looking to save money, or even if you're not, because it's so much food, that just splitting an entree is a great option. But they have something on the menu that I want to discuss. They have something called Fragrant Duck. I'm super confused by
Why is it fragrant Donald Duck?
I don't know. It's spiced duck breast confit with cauliflower, pilaf, fried fruits, and nuts. But I still don't understand why it's fragrant.
Maybe it's very herbaceous. They have a lot of different herbs.
Yes. Anyway.
Old Spice.
Yes, Old Spice. That's it.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Let's kind of bring it together, because again, both of these resorts they have a lot in common. They have a lot of strengths in common, but they do have unique experiences at each. And we've talked about a lot of those. But let's wrap up with like the extraneous type things like swimming pools, extra events you can do around the resort, the stuff like that. So Pam, talk about Wilderness Lodge. The pool there is amazing because it kind of starts with that little stream in the lobby of the hotel, trickles through a waterfall, which gets a little bit more grand. And then you have a great pool in the middle of the resort, which, it's horseshoe shaped. So you got like a lot of rooms looking out over it. It's a cool place to be.
It is. And I think that that's one of the things I really enjoy about the Wilderness Lodge is that they have that option. In fact, you can get rooms that overlook that area. And the rooms that you're going to want to get are the courtyard rooms. Mm-hmm. So if you're interested in having a room that overlooks the pool and that sort of geyser and river area, then do that. But speaking of the geyser, hello, there's a geyser at this resort. Like, you can pretend you're at Yellowstone, and it goes off, I believe, every half hour or so right there at the lodge. But it's really kind of a cool thing. It acts just like a hot spring geyser and shoots up into the air. It's really, really a cool thing. The pool, I love the way that their slide is sort of built into the rocks there. I think they did a great job theming that. And it's not so high that little kids will be scared of it, but I think just gives it enough of a thrill for that. There's also a very nice quiet pool that's over sort of towards the Boulder Ridge part of this resort. And that location is there as well. They redid that pool, in fact, in the last couple of years. And it's beautiful. They sort of themed it after a mining town, and it has all of that going on there too. So it's over there by Geyser Point, and they have lots of different recreation options. They have bikes. I believe they have Surrey bikes in addition to regular bikes, and like we had mentioned earlier, you can walk over to Fort Wilderness, which I think is a really, really nice option. You can also take boat transportation over to Fort Wilderness and also the Contemporary. So that's something to keep in mind when thinking about their transportation too. When you check in, of course, what you're going to want to do is ask for the Hidden Mickey Scavenger Hunt, because they have some great hidden Mickeys at the Wilderness Lodge. So you'll want to do that. Also, when you walk into the lobby, you see this beautiful big fireplace, and you'll notice that there are all these different sort of sections of the fireplace. Well, each one of those sections sort of pertains to the strata, the earth there at the Grand Canyon. And as you walk, you can walk up the stairs. You can go up to each level of each floor of the resort, and you will find a display where it sort of talks about that level and the different things you can find. So that's really interesting too. And finally, take a look at the artwork that's encased in the lobby. There's some Native American pieces that I think are incredible. I think the most incredible thing is that headdress that they have there. It's so cool that it almost looks fake. But really, it's an authentic headdress. It's a full headdress. Kind of the length of someone who is wearing it. So make sure you do that too. There's just a lot of great things to check out at the Wilderness Lodge.
And I think Wilderness Lodge also offers a tour of the lodge, free tour. They'll kind of walk you through and give you a little, backstory of, the tour, the lodge itself. And you're right. I like the relics, even the flags are cool looking. They look like something you would have found like at Fort Hayes or. Yeah. I'm a big Dances with Wolves fan. And like they use that part of that score for the background, not during Christmas, but the regular time of the year. And I love that place. It's just like, it is so like, that is just my jam. It's so beautiful. All right, Ricky, close us out with the extra stuff to do at Animal Kingdom Lodge and talk about the pools. You got two over there because you got Kidani and Jambo.
You do. And the one at Kidani is spectacular. Everybody talks about how great the Kidani pool is. And of course, that's not just the Jumbo House pool is nothing to sneeze at either.
No, that's awesome too.
So I don't think you can go wrong at either one. And then they also have the Hakuna Matata playground. They do have a fitness center there, and a jogging trail. So if you are looking to get some exercise in, you can.
No, they don't have a jogging trail. If you're a runner, you want to be at Wilderness Lodge. But if you're at Animal Kingdom Lodge, nice treadmills. That's what you got.
Oh, well, there you go. All right. Well, yes, I do see that now. The jogging trail is like.
No, it's running back and forth between Kidani and Jambo, and it's not.
It's sort of you're sort of limited. You're going to see the same sites again and again.
You are, and I've done that before because I had to get my miles in, and I didn't go to the fitness center. But yeah, it's not recommended. Ricky's locked up, so we're gonna close. I'll tell you about the two pools. So the weird thing about the pool at Kidani is you actually got to walk across the parking lot to get over to it. But once you get there, you're rewarded with just a great pool experience. Kids like it. There's a lot of splash areas. There's some hot tubs. It's a great place to do. And then if you go over to, I think everybody's probably seen the Jambo House pool. It's grand. It's just like the pool at Wilderness Lodge. It's got rooms that look out over it, the balconies and so forth. And it's just a great place. Pool bar. It's pretty sweet. And of course, they have a tour of Jico and Boma. They also have kids activities like making pillowcases and, somewhat like native relics, things like that, it's just fun. So get your activities guide when you check in, decide what you want to do. And
the bead activities. Don't miss the bead activities.
You collect those throughout your stay, right?
Exactly. So there are certain activities that are designated on the activity sheet as bead activities. And whenever you attend one of these activities, they give you a bead that you will eventually put on, a necklace, a bracelet, something like that. And some of them are really cool beads. So I know Hannah loved that when she was a kid. We were always like, she was like, Mom, I don't want to go to the Magic Kingdom this morning because there's a bead activity at whatever. whatever. And I'm like, okay, he had a fine. So yeah.
Well, I wanted you bring that up because, when my guests get back, a lot of times I'll kind of debrief them because I just like to know, we spend a lot of time working on these trips together, and I just like,
right.
How'd it go? Because it's like, I don't want it to be over, when I send you off, I want to know, like, what'd you do? And, I've heard this from more than one family when they get back. They're like, we're so excited. You had us, we're going to be at Magic Kingdom at Rope Drop to beat the crowd. You had us like in their good plan. But then my kids wouldn't leave the balcony at Animal Kingdom Lodge. We didn't leave till noon because they want to watch the giraffe and the wildebeest. And I mean, it's like, and when I hear that, I'm excited because as exciting as Magic Kingdom is at Rope Drop, there's something to be said for seeing animals in a habitat like that. I mean, when you go home, you're not going to get to see that. It's incredible. And that's why you're staying there.
I agree. Look, there are many places that you can stay right here in the U.S. that are fantastic lodging opportunities, but how many places can you go and look out your window and see a wildebeest or a giraffe or a zebra or one of the many other animals that you have there? I think it's a truly unique experience, and it's not something that just appeals to kids, although it's a big appeal to kids. But I will tell you, having my coffee out there in the morning on the balcony, or having a beer or a glass of wine at night, that there's no better place. So I love both of these resorts, and I would be hard pressed to pick a favorite over the two.
It is. I mean, that's the whole thing. I was saying, if somebody asked me today, like, you have to pick one or the other, it would be a hard decision because I do love them both. I love them.
That's me too.
And the good news with that is there's not a wrong answer. I mean, I know it's really hard sometimes to make your choices for Disney vacations, but the good news is you're not making a wrong answer.
Yeah.
And just next trip you do the other. That's
right.
At it. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, hope you enjoyed today's conversation about Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge. Again, it's just fun to just talk about the resorts, kind of picture being there. If we've stayed there before, if you've passed through, maybe you're thinking about staying there. Hopefully this helps give you a little bit of background information to make a good decision. So we hope you enjoyed today's show. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by our great friends over at the Magic for Less Travel. So again, those 2020 packages are booking right now. Pam has said it in the past. It's a great idea to secure that package for 2020 as soon as you can. You put down the $200 deposit on the package, fully refundable till 31 days prior to check-in. So there's really no risk. And you have that date, that resort, you're locked in, and you got a lot of time to consider all your options as we move forward. So just do that today. Drop by themagicforless.com. Check out all the great specials. Again, increased booking bonuses right now, which means Disney gift cards flying out of the place. So check them out. They're the best, and you want to work with them. So themagicforless.com. Again, use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon for all of your online purchases. And, we're heading out on the Disney dream, but we'll have lots of pictures as we get back. Be Our Guest Mike on Instagram and Twitter, and Be Our Guest Pod as well. And again, join the Facebook page at facebook.com/beourguestpodcast. One other thing, if you are listening to the show on Friday morning, please, somebody go to portcanaveralwebcam.com this afternoon when the dream sails away around 4 o'clock Eastern, I think is typically sail away. If somebody could get a picture of us waving from fish, the camera at Fish Lips, I'd love that screenshot. So if somebody could grab that, please send it to me, email or some other way. I'd sure appreciate it. So again, portcanaveralwebcam.com this afternoon as we sail away. We'll be waving to you, having a good time. All right, we're going to take off and sail away to Castaway Cay twice and have a good time. Lots of stories to be told, I'm sure. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great weekend. Whatever you do while I'm out of the country, stay safe and look after each other, and we'll see you real soon. Is that Ricky? Just keep texting?
Yes, it's Ricky.
Does she not know we're finishing the show? Yeah. I mean, come on now. Like, I can't concentrate. My wrist is like, anyway. I get it. You're having a storm and we were 5 minutes from the end.
I know. It was crazy. Like, it started getting really dark here. And then all of a sudden, like, I could see like the wind and nuts. So crazy.
Well, we made it. All right. So I will be in touch with all the stuff we got, but I think we're good.
All good. Okay. Awesome. Get it done. Go back. All right.
I will. I see if we bought a house. All right.
Okay. All right. Bye.